couple days after the Super Bowl, I got into it on air on Undisputed with my guys, Keyshawn and Michael Irvin, about how I still believe with all my heart and soul that Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes. Maybe just a little better, but just better than Patrick Mahomes. And I can back it up and I can prove it. What I can't defend is Joe Burrow staying healthy because he hasn't been healthy, as you well know, not consistently. But I definitely can defend what he did at San Francisco versus that 49er defense this past season versus what Patrick Mahomes did or didn't do against that same 49er defense in the Super Bowl. And by the way, speaking of Super Bowls, just allow me to quickly reiterate. So Patrick's played now in 4 Super Bowls. First one, he's down 20-10 late third quarter and throws an interception that could have been disastrous. Still down 20-10, fourth quarter, throws another interception that should have been the final nail in the coffin, except his rival quarterback was Jimmy G, as in Garoppolo, who fell apart in the fourth quarter. 3 of 11. Interception. Missed Emmanuel Sanders running wide open at the goal line. And back, Kansas City roared. And Mahomes was really good late in that game because the 49ers weren't. And they won it going away, as you recall. Did the Chiefs 31-20. Man, was he in danger in that game. Super Bowl number 2 for Patrick. He runs up against Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., and he gets his butt kicked 31-9, and he stinks in that game. I won't go into the gory details, but you remember. Stunk. Then a year ago against the Eagles, in that torchable Eagles defense that Dak Prescott had just thrown 347 yards worth against, Patrick struggled all game. He managed 182 yards passing in that Super Bowl. If Jalen Hurts hadn't lost the handle on a read option pitch or keep, I don't know what he was going to do. He just lost the handle. It got scooped and it got scored. And if Kadarius Toney hadn't broken free in the middle of the fourth quarter for a 65-yard punt return down to the 5-yard line, I'm not sure the Chiefs would have lived to tell about that game. But they did. And even though Patrick threw for a grand total of 182 yards, he won. Remember, Tom Brady averaged 304 yards passing in 10 Super Bowls, and in that one, Patrick threw for 182. But who's counting? And then, in this most recent Super Bowl, it took a muffed punt in the third quarter after Patrick had thrown an interception, a muffed punt, a blown punt, a kicked punt, that set up the Kansas City Chiefs at the 16-yard line of the 49ers. And before they could get their defense set, Mahomes struck. That was the only touchdown scored in regulation by the Chiefs, who managed 4 other field goals, including a late one, to tie it at 19. So Patrick was very lucky to score 1 touchdown against that San Francisco defense. 1 touchdown in regulation. He was great in overtime, I give you that. But only 19 points. Interesting. So, if you might remember, Joe Burrow went to San Francisco fairly late in the season, and all he did was, against that same 49er defense that Mahomes struggled against, all Joe Burrow did against that defense was play the best quarterback game I saw all season long. the best. Number one, if I had to rank quarterback games that I saw, and remember, Lamar Jackson had a great one on Christmas night at San Francisco, but it wasn't quite what Joe Burrow pulled off because Joe went 28 of 32 against the 49ers. 28, this is at San Francisco, not on a neutral field in Las Vegas. 28 of 32 for 283 yards. Joe Burrow is slightly better than Patrick Mahomes. And I will go to my grave repeating all of the above again and again on Undisputed. Be ready, Keyshawn. Be ready, Michael. And thank you, my loyal listeners and viewers, for letting me to get that out of my craw.
I hope you enjoyed that video. You ready for more? Make sure you click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from the Skip Bayless Show. And don't forget to check out the full episode of the show wherever you get your podcasts by clicking the link in the description.